My husband is a sleep speaker and started talking another woman's name during his sleep. Should I talk with him about it? My husband and I are both in our 30s, married for about 10 years, with kids. When my husband is very tired, he talks in his sleep, not a lot but a few words. Usually it's about whatever is on his mind. When our boys were young, it was usually about feeding them or giving them a bath. Now it happens less than it did back then, but it still happens about once a week. Usually he says something about work or fishing or his car. Last night he said another woman's name in his sleep, actually a few times. First he just said her name and kind of laughed in his sleep. Then he said, her name, let's go to bed. And then a few minutes later something about a shower. This is a woman that lives near us. He knows her, but I don't. I work afternoons. My husband gets out of work around 4, and so does she, so they're both outside with the kids around the same time. I've never seen them be anything but friendly. I've never seen odd behavior from him. But this has me very paranoid. I don't want to be one of those people who gets mad at their partner for something that happened in their sleep. Am I being ridiculous for bringing this up to him? Update. Thank you everyone. I brought it up to my husband in a joking manner. He immediately got defensive and began saying he couldn't fucking believe I was making an issue out of this. I was pretty taken aback by his immediate defensive reaction. I assured him I wasn't accusing him of anything. I had just wanted to bring it up since it happened and make a joke out of it so he knew I wasn't actually upset. He continued to call me ridiculous, dramatic, etc. And if he expected me to stop hanging out with her because of this, I was out of my goddamn mind. Then he left. Like and subscribe. Relevant comments. Tacy, put your mind at rest and talk to him. I say and do all sorts of crazy stuff in my sleep. I told my partner he was a danger to me and I was calling the police once. LOL. He really isn't a danger to me. Opie, I'm just a little bit alarmed because he's never spoken about anyone else like this in this way. It's always very straightforward. Things that he's thinking about or are happening in real life. Regular_569. Honey, trust your gut. His reaction is everything you need to know. That anger he directed at you is masking guilt or shame. He's having inappropriate feelings for the neighbor. Whether he's acted on them or not, who knows? Update May 15th, 2022. After my husband's very defensive response after I brought it up in a really lighthearted way, I began to get a little concerned, especially how he said, "If you expect me to stop hanging out with her over this, you're out of your goddamn mind." Of course, I never would have asked him to stop talking to her over a dream, but his response really was over the top. So yesterday I took a half day and got home from work at 4:15, the time they're usually hanging out. My kids and my husband were not at home, despite my husband telling me he had gotten them off the bus and his Life 360 saying he was home, plus his car being in the garage. I called his phone and it went off in the bedroom, but no him. So I walked by the woman's house. She has a pool in her backyard and from the street I could hear the two of them, clearly, in the backyard in the pool, talking and laughing. I literally didn't even go onto her yard. I just yelled out my husband's name and said, "Where are the kids?" He was silent for so long. He started to say something, but I cut him off. I think I just told him to shut the FK up and told him just tell me where my kids were. He said they were over his mother's. I told him he had until I went to get them and get back to get his stuff out of the house. He tried to keep talking. At this point he had come out to the street, but I honestly didn't want to hear anything he had to say. I told him I wasn't messing around. If he was still there when I came home, I was going to lose it. He got the point. He was gone, but I did let him tell me his side of the story on the phone later that night. He said they were just friends, that he didn't tell me how close they were because he thought I would get upset. A lie. I don't care if he has female friends or not as long as he's respectful of boundaries, which he wasn't. I don't believe anything he said. He lied about where our kids were to innocently hang out with a friend. Obviously this is all new, but I have no intentions of reconciling with him. I'll be a co-parent and nothing else. It feels surreal to me how all of this started. I still can't really believe it's happening. Relevant comments. Opie responding to a downvoted commenter. I don't understand what you're confused about. He lied about where my children were. He lied about where he was to hang out with her. You have to be a moron to not see he's cheating. Management 1. I absolutely knew something was up from your first post. I'm so sorry. Do you think they've been having sex? Is he trying to save your marriage or no? Is she married? What scum? Opie. Yes, he is. Management 1. What exactly is his excuse for sending your kids to his mom's so they could have a date? I can't even imagine. Opie, one of our sons had just been sick 2 days before, so he said he didn't think he would be up for swimming and nights. Did you ask his mother for what she was told? Why she was asked to watch the kids? Does she know what her son has been doing? I'm so happy you are taking care of this now. Opie, she told him he had to do work on the house and didn't want them around while he did it.